Your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, hijacks your rational mind in milliseconds. But here's what neuroscience just discovered. The chemical surge from an emotional trigger only lasts 6 seconds. After that, you are the one who keep the emotion alive by feeding it thoughts and reaction. 6 seconds, that's your window. Miss it, and you trap in the same emotional pattern you have been repeating for years. Catch it, and you can break free. Hi, I'm Annie, a Buddhist psychologist who spent over 2,600 hours helping professionals break emotional patterns just like this. This is the Light Wolf Speaks, and today we are going deep into why emotions keep returning. No matter how much you try to control them, we will look at this through three powerful lenses: ancient Buddhist wisdom, cutting-edge neuroscience, and humanistic psychology. And in the part 2, I will give you a practical technique you can use immediately. But first, let me remind you about something I mentioned in episode 1. The dark wolf, your reactive, protective self, doesn't only show up as anger or aggression. As I explained in episode 1, the dark wolf has three primary phases: the aggressive wolf, who fights, attacks, and lashes out when threatened; the submissive wolf, who retreats, people pleases, and suppresses their own needs to keep the peace; and the disconnected wolf, who numbs out, withdraws emotionally, and dissociates from difficult feelings. All three are the same dark wolf, just using different survival strategies to protect you. Whether you explode in anger, freeze in submission, or disappear into numbness, the same 6-second window applies. The same neural pathways are at work. The same opportunity for freedom exists. So whether you are someone who loses temper, someone who swallows your anger and then resents everyone around you, or someone who just go numb when things get hard, this episode is for you. Now, to understand why emotions keep coming back, I want to show you the same phenomenon through three different lenses: Buddhist wisdom, neuroscience, and humanistic psychology. Each lens reveals something essential, and when you see how they work together, everything clicks. Let's start with the Buddhist lens. According to the Pali Canon, the earliest recorded Buddhist teachings, every moment of your experience arises through five interconnected processes called the Five Aggregates. This is a precise map of how your mind creates suffering. Let me walk you through it quickly. First, Vinaya or consciousness. This is basic awareness through your six senses: seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, and thinking. You see your colleague walking toward you. That's consciousness, pure sensory contact. Second, sanya or recognition. Your mind instantly labels: this is John, who criticized me last week. This happens in milliseconds before you are even aware of it. Third, Vedana or feeling tone. Every recognition carries an immediate quality: pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Seeing John feels unpleasant because of past conditioning. You don't choose this, it arises automatically. Fourth, sankhara or mental formations. This is where you get trapped. Your mind doesn't stop at the unpleasant feeling, it elaborates. He is going to criticize me again. He doesn't respect me. I need to defend myself. Why does this always happen to me? Notice what happened. A simple, unpleasant sensation became a full story about your worth and safety. This is sankhara, the embellishment that transforms a moment into suffering. And this is where your dark wolf lives, in the story, not the sensation. Fifth, rupa or behavioral reaction. The story manifests as action. You snap defensively, you avoid John, you go numb, the dark wolf emerges. And here's the trap: when you react from the story, you strengthen the entire pattern. Your brain remembers John equal threat equal defense. Next time it happens even faster. So the five aggregates: consciousness makes contact, recognition labels it, feeling tone arises, mental formations embellish, and behavior follows. This happens in milliseconds. It feels like one experience, but it's a chain reaction. Understanding this chain is the first step to breaking it. Now let's look at what's happening in your brain during this process. Modern neuroscience has revealed what the Buddha was describing over 2,500 years ago. Let me show you what's happening in your brain when you get triggered. When John walks toward you, the information reaches your amygdala first. The amygdala is your alarm system. Its job, keep you alive. It scans every signal, comparing it to store memories of past threats, and it doesn't distinguish between physical and psychological danger. To your amygdala, criticism equal threat, rejection equal threat. If it recognizes a pattern, criticism from colleagues equal danger, it triggers fight or flight immediately. In milliseconds before your conscious mind knows what's happening. This is the biological basis of recognition and feeling tone from the five aggregates. When your amygdala sounds the alarm, your prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thinking, perspective, and wise decision making, goes partially offline. Blood flow shifts from your thinking brain to your survival brain. This is why you literally cannot think clearly in the heat of the moment. You can't access perspective. You can't remember your values. The dark wolf has taken over. This is the biological basis of sankhara. Those automatic stories that feel so compelling, so urgent, so true in the moment. But here's the game-changing discovery. The chemical surge from an emotional trigger lasts approximately 6 seconds. When your amygdala fires, it releases stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline that flood your system. But if you don't feed them with continued thoughts and reactions, they naturally begin to dissipate after about 6 seconds. After those 6 seconds, your parasympathetic nervous system can activate, bringing your prefrontal cortex back online. The problem: most people don't give themselves those 6 seconds. They immediately react or they keep replaying the trigger. I can't believe he said that. Every replay re-triggers the amygdala, another search, another 6 seconds. This is why an argument that could have lasted 6 seconds lasts 6 hours or 6 years. One more crucial piece: neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you respond to criticism with defensiveness, you strengthen that neural pathway. It becomes a superhighway in your brain, fast, automatic, effortless. This is why the same emotion keeps coming back. Your brain has learned this route so well it can travel it unconsciously. It's not a character flaw, it's neuroplasticity working against you. And this is beautiful, neuroplasticity also means you can create new pathways. You can erase the old superhighway, but you can build a new road that your light wolf can travel. The more you practice the new road, the easier it becomes. Eventually, the old highway becomes overgrown from disuse. And that's what we are going to explore in part 2, how to build that new road using a practice that integrates Buddhist wisdom with neuroscience. So let's integrate what we have learned. The Buddhist teaching shows you how the mind creates suffering through the five aggregates, especially through unchecked embellishment. Neuroscience explains why this happens so automatically. Your amygdala's threat detection and your well-worn neural pathways. And neuroscience also reveals when you have your best chance to intervene, that critical 6-second window. But there's still one more lens we need, humanistic psychology, because knowing how and why might not be strong enough. So you need to know what to do about it. And that is where your light wolf comes in. This integration of Buddhist wisdom, neuroscience, and humanistic psychology is what I call the Buddhist Neuro-Humanistic Integration Framework, or BNHI for short, is the foundation of my doctoral research at Mahachulalongkorn Rashvidyalaya University and is a systematic approach to emotional mastery and authentic living. I'm currently preparing a theoretical paper on BNHI that's under review at an academic journal, but what I'm focused on in this series is showing you how to actually use these principles in your daily life, because theory without practice is just intellectual knowledge and you need practical tools. In part 2, which you can watch right now, I'm going to show you the Buddhist practice of equanimity and how it perfectly aligns with the 6-second neuroscience window, the humanistic psychology principle that gives you the power to choose who you want to be in any moment, and most importantly, a practical step-by-step technique called the 6-second equanimity practice that you can use the very next time you are triggered. This isn't theory anymore. This is your roadmap to breaking free. Click on the part 2 now, and if you're watching this later, the link is in the description box and in the end screen. Let's continue. Don't stop here. Part 2 is where everything comes together into a practice you can use immediately. I see you there. This is Annie, and the Light Wolf Speaks.